I think it helps for parents to have girls. Girls, females, very rarely have these expectations of getting these communal, cultural families out the quote unquote hood, right? They don't have that on them because what are you gonna play that's gonna change all of our lives? And so when you think about women, it is you're pouring into them and you want them to play sports and you want them to be athletic and you want them to understand what it is to be a part of that culture, a culture of striving for greatness, a culture of understanding work ethic and discipline. And so when I put my girls into sports, it wasn't so, hey man, so you can go be professional. It was to give them a different community. It was to let them see people of diverse backgrounds. And now we can all come together and try to do this one thing, right? But boys is different because of what we could see, of what we could touch. Every time Fred Taylor goes back to where he's from and does a camp or he's seen in a store, he's seen around, those young kids say, damn, he from where I'm from, I could go do that same thing. Same thing with you, same thing with me, right? So many times now I get calls from young people about TV, right? Because these kids don't know I even played football, right? But they know I did TV. And so because they could see me, because they could touch me, because they could be around me, now that's a dream of theirs. You know, when you talk about like putting a kid in the sport so he could be a professional, it's not about putting him in the sport so he can be a professional. Put him in the sport so he could want to be excellent at something.
Right.
And honestly, the truth is, right, he's gonna take to the thing that's probably easy for him, which means he's good at it, right? Like Marcus Spears' son, whose mother was a first-round draft pick, whose father was a first-round draft pick and a top 50 hooper when he came out of high school, he's supposed to go play basketball. And then when you see he's grown to 6'8", you're supposed to push him to try to be the best he could possibly be, which means he could be a top 5 draft pick. That's his lot in life, not everybody's. But we also shouldn't tell kids don't strive for excellence. It's about saying this is all I can do. Tell them they can do other things. Show them they can do other things. But I don't want playing sports to get sort of this negative connotation in our communities. Because if I don't play sports, I don't get to the Catholic school that provides me an opportunity to be prepared to go take my ACT and hit my numbers the first time. To be prepared to go to college and be the go-to guy in every interview, prepared to go to college and get into the Manship School of Mass Communications. And so sports can take you places, but for us, like for me with Jordan, our conversations were always about where his feet were at the present time and what the next step was. And I think you got to do that and can't put a kid in Little League and say, hey, go be Joe Montana.
Hold up, limitless, take a stomach, pinning it. I fought the head to witness it.